Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Did she really just say that? That's what a lot of the bold and the beautiful fans can't help but wonder when it comes to Taylor Hayes. That's because she asked the million-dollar question that, as a psychiatrist, she should have answered herself. During the most recent episode of the show, Taylor asked Ridge, "What do you think was going on in Luna's head?" And no, we are not making this up at all. Seeing how this is part of her profession, you would think that Taylor would have the answers herself. But that doesn't seem to be the case at all. Of course, the internet certainly did have a lot to say about the matter. A lot of them can't help but wonder why the bold and the beautiful writers are doing Taylor so dirty all the time. Do they not like her at all? Some even commented with, "For a psychologist, she gives terrible advice and falls back into a toxic love triangle without hesitation. Sumyo needs to get Taylor off the show, she is a total waste of space." Another critic of the show wrote, "Maybe she wasn't asking about psychology. Maybe since Ridge is a world-class fashion designer, she was wondering about the tracksuit Luna was wearing. Taylor, what could be going on in her mind?" Ridge, "I know she was an intern at FC. She knows better. You don't wear an 80s-inspired tracksuit to a mass shooting." And then there was this comment as well. "Only Taylor. A Dumbo psycho wacko shrink would ask that question, that's who." Wow. Her deep thoughts. How lucky her patients are, as the writers constantly remind us. It was just one question. One loaded, deeply personal, emotionally explosive question. But Taylor Hayes, ever the psychologist, ever the mother, ever the woman who still carries a torch she won't name, asked it anyway. And now nothing in Los Angeles will ever be the same. Chapter 1. A Whisper That Roared. The Forrester mansion was unnaturally quiet. The kind of silence that meant something had either just exploded or was about to. Taylor stood in the living room, arms folded, looking more like a surgeon about to make the first cut than a therapist trained to heal. Her eyes scanned the room, so many memories here. Rich proposing, Steffi's birthday parties, Christmases, and heartbreaks, always heartbreaks. Across from her, Rich stood by the fireplace. He wasn't looking at her. That was always the first sign. "I'd asked you a question," Taylor said quietly, voice clipped but trembling. "And I deserve an answer." Ridge finally met her eyes. But it wasn't love in them. It was a combination of guilt, confusion, and an emotion Taylor couldn't quite name. "What kind of question is that, Taylor?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. And there it was. The worst question. The one she never thought she'd ask out loud. The one that had been simmering beneath the surface for years. "Do you regret choosing Brooke over me, again?" Chapter 2. The Fallout Begins. It was like the walls shifted. The chandelier overhead didn't fall, but it should have, just to match the chaos igniting below it. Ridge exhaled slowly, running a hand down his face. "Taylor." She held up a hand. "No, I'm not asking for pity. I'm not trying to guilt-trip you. I'm tired of pretending that I don't care. That I'm okay, that I've moved on like everyone expects me to." Her voice cracked. "For once, I just need to know if it was ever real. If what we had was more than just a convenient fallback." The room fell silent. Behind them, unknown to both, Steffi had just arrived. She was frozen on the staircase, having heard every word. Her heart clenched, not just for her mother, but for what this question could do to all of them. Because Ridge didn't answer right away. And in soap logic, silence speaks louder than screaming. Chapter 3. Brooke enters, and she knows. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan was sipping her third espresso in the Forrester kitchen, scrolling through designs for the upcoming fashion preview when she got the text. From Steffi, "Get in here. No, your name just exploded." Brooke's heart skipped a beat. Not again, not another triangle, not another round of Taylor versus Brooke. But she went anyway. By the time she stepped into the living room, Ridge was pacing, Taylor was wiping a tear she didn't want anyone to see, and Steffi stood between them like a referee who had seen one too many matches end in bloodshed. "What's going on?" Brooke asked, her tone deceptively gentle. "Ask your husband," Taylor said, her voice bone dry. "I'm not her husband," Ridge muttered. "Not yet." "Ouch." Brooke raised an eyebrow. "Excuse me?" Taylor laughed, hollow and bitter. "Wow. That's new. That's very new." Steffi put up her hands. "Okay, everyone, can we please act like adults for 5 minutes?" "That depends." Brooke shot back, eyes flicking to Taylor. "On what ridiculous accusations are being made this time?" "Oh, no accusations," Taylor said. "Just a simple question. I asked Ridge if he regrets choosing you." Again. Brooke inhaled sharply. "You what?" And suddenly, Ridge wasn't pacing anymore. "Can we not do this in front of the entire family?" Taylor turned to him. "That's just it, Ridge. We are the family. And we all deserve the truth." Chapter 4. A Son's Perspective. Later that evening, as the storm still raged, Thomas Forrester showed up at his mother's hotel suite. He hadn't heard it from Steffi, he hadn't seen the texts, he had seen the look on his father's face, lost, burdened, and knew something major had gone down. Taylor poured herself a glass of wine, her first in over a year, and sank into the couch. "I asked a question," she said without waiting for him to speak. Thomas blinked. "What question?" "The one I swore I never would. The one that makes me look weak." "You're not weak." She ignored that. "I asked Ridge if he regrets choosing Brooke. And he didn't say no. He didn't say anything. He just looked at me like I'd opened a wound he didn't want anyone to see." Thomas sat beside her, rubbing her shoulder. "You had every right to ask. You've been carrying this weight for years. You were his safe place, Mom. You gave up everything for him. You even forgave him after everything that happened with Caroline. With Brooke. He stopped himself. But the ghosts in that sentence hovered in the room anyway. "I needed clarity," Taylor whispered. "I just didn't expect the silence to be so loud." Chapter 5. Hope has questions too. The next day at Forrester Creations, Hope Logan caught her mother mid-crisis. Brooke, still rattled, was folding the same scarf for the 6th time, her thoughts clearly miles away. "Mom?" Earth to Brooke. Brooke snapped out of it. "Hope. Sorry, I'm just overwhelmed." "Is this about Dad?" Brooke paused, then nodded. "I don't know what to do," Brooke admitted. Taylor's question wasn't just bold, it was cruel. "Was it though?" Hope asked, her voice unusually soft. "Or was it just honest?" Brooke looked up sharply. "Whose side are you on?" "I'm on the side of truth," Hope said. "And if you're really secure in your relationship with Dad, then why is this question shaking you so badly?" That one landed. Brooke had no answer. Chapter 6. Ridge comes clean. It took Ridge 2 days to say anything. 2 full days of Taylor avoiding him, Brooke icing him out, and his own children quietly observing him like emotional scientists waiting for a result. He finally found Taylor at her favorite beach overlook, sketchpad on her knees, sunglasses hiding red eyes. "You didn't deserve my silence," Ridge said, standing behind her. She didn't turn around. "No, I didn't." He sat beside her, both of them facing the ocean. "When you asked me if I regretted choosing Brooke," he began, voice hoarse, "I didn't know how to answer. Not because I don't have feelings, but because those feelings are complicated." Taylor snorted softly. "You think?" Ridge looked down. "You were always the one who grounded me, gave me peace. With Brooke, it's fireworks. Passion. But with you, it was always soul-level connection. And maybe I forgot that. Or ignored it." She finally turned toward him. "Are you saying you do regret choosing her?" Ridge closed his eyes. "I think," he said slowly, "I regret hurting you again. I regret making you believe you were second best, because you never were. And yet here we are." "Yeah," he said, "here we are." Chapter 7. The Ripple Effect. The follow-up from Taylor's question didn't stop at Ridge and Brooke. It bled into everything. Steffi started questioning her own marriage to Finn, whether passion was enough, or if security mattered more. Hamas became obsessed with rebuilding trust in a family where emotional wounds were never fully closed. Hope, rattled by her mother's silence, began doubting the foundation of her beliefs about love and legacy. Liam, always lurking, took the moment to subtly check in on Hope, using Ridge and Brooke's unraveling as an excuse to edge closer again. Even Eric, wise and weary, told Donna, every generation repeats the same triangle. Maybe this is the moment we finally stop it. But no one really believed that. Chapter 8. Taylor's Power Play. 1 week later, Taylor made a decision. She showed up at Forrester Creations in a blazer that screamed confidence and purpose, hair perfectly tousled, every inch the unstoppable force she once was. She requested a board meeting, not about fashion, not about family drama, about mental health partnerships. "I'm launching a wellness initiative under the Forrester brand," she told the stunned room. "We're going to be more than fabric and fantasy. We're going to stand for strength, especially emotional strength." Rich looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. Brooke narrowed her eyes. "And Steffi," she smiled. Because the woman who once fell apart asking the worst question had just found the best answer. Final chapter. The echo that won't fade. Taylor's question would echo for weeks. It would whisper in every embrace between Ridge and Brooke. It would stir in every glance Steffi threw toward Finn. It would linger in the Forrester halls, in quiet corners and whisper judgments. But for Taylor Hayes, something had shifted. She had finally said out loud what she wasn't supposed to. And she hadn't broken, she had risen. Because sometimes the worst question isn't destructive, it's clarifying. And sometimes asking it is the most powerful thing you can do. Brooke confides in Deacon and gets a shocking proposal. Taylor's initiative puts her face to face with an old flame. Steffi discovers a secret about hope that could destroy everything. And Ridge? Ridge may finally realize you can't keep dodging answers forever. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Boldy and BA YouTube UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.